Well, welcome everybody back.
Great, welcome.
We're going to start off with our roll call.
Arthur Akers and John Adelaide responded that they would not be here today, so their absence is excused. Phil Alvarado have not heard back from. Chair Jacutis.
Present.
Pam Edwards, Jacqueline Fitzhugh,
Present.
Betty Gonzalez, George Harvey,
Present.
Mary Joyner,
Present.
and Smitty,
Present.
Joan,
Here,
and our director.
Tanya.
Present.
There we go. Just a point of clarification, Madam Chair, I don't know that the whole committee knows, the city still has Barbara Mann on, and I believe that she did tell former Director Gomez that she would not be able to serve. Barbara's term is until August of this year, but we may want to look at that. And then we have a board member who is in, I don't know, I can't think of the word, is not in line with the bylaws due to absences. So we will need to also look at that person's.
Pam, at the next meeting, could you get us a copy of the bylaws, just so everyone can look at them again? And we can go through it, and I understand, I think the bylaws say 3 absence. I understand if it's something medical or emergency, I think we can allow for that, but just not being able to be here, we can't. Because that was our issue a few years ago. We never had a quorum to even do a vote, so. Is everyone okay with that, to go over the bylaws for the next meeting? All right, perfect. Thank you, Pam. All right, so what I'm gonna do next on our agenda is our update from Tanya.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Very nice to see you all. I'm very happy to report that since our last meeting, our numbers steadily increased. I think this has to do with the benefit of having good, reliable transportation, with the seniors have verbalized and communicated to our team that they're very appreciative of. So the steady numbers have increased. We do have phone calls coming in for more mailings to be added to the newsletter. And also with this increase of numbers, we are now before we were using some of the rooms dually, now it's tripled. So maybe one room will be utilized 2 to 3 different ways. And this is reflective of the numbers and what's going on a daily basis. So we're very happy to report that. For upcoming activities, first of all, I'd like to thank Diana Shakutis for helping with the Easter egg hunt. That was our first annual being in this space, and we were very appreciative of you coming out with HungNet. But you in particular, because you came early and helped me set up the eggs, so thank you so much for that. For May, we have our gardening group that will be starting up. Our garden is outside, but we're going to be germinating inside. And all of our activities, most of them are senior-led. So it's not that the staff members are facilitating these. It is led by seniors. So the garden group, we met yesterday and we started germinating. The seniors started germinating yesterday in-house before they're transplanted outside. In May also, we have something new that we'd like to introduce during our 1st year anniversary, and this is going to be a meditation circle. And this was, this came about by a senior going through whatever he was going through in his life, and he is also a musician, and he offered to have a meditation circle. So we will be having that, I believe, May 16th. Jewelry making workshop is also going to be a senior-led workshop by a senior that approached and said, you know, she's an artist and she would like to offer that back at the senior center. So jewelry making will also take place in May. we have our first mile walk on the Commons for the seniors, and that is going to be part of a larger picture. Now that the season has allowed us to get outside more, we're going to do that. So we're going to have a mile walk. I believe it is the third week in May on the Commons, and this will also provide an opportunity for intergenerational interaction. There's a group that I met with last week that is very enthusiastic about coming to the senior center for veterans, for seniors, and they want to get outside and they want to get our seniors moving and shaking. So we're looking forward to that. So the mile walk again is going to be May, I think 21st, but don't quote me on that. And also we're going to have a senior prom coming up, and that's going to be led by the seniors as well. We're going to have a committee with seniors, from decorations to food to planning to outfits, but we're very much looking forward to that.
Do you have a date picked for that yet?
For the senior prom, I'll have to check. I
Okay.
think that there was a date specified for June.
Okay.
For programs and services, we're happy to report that the ESL program, although sadly will be coming to an end the first week of May, has been a raving success, both to teach level 1 English to our Spanish speaking seniors, and in reverse to our English speaking seniors, to meet the culture halfway that they were in a class that teaches first level Spanish. So during the course of the day, you see seniors practicing either on their Spanish or on the English, and that's a true cultural integration that we'd like to see. We also had a glasses clinic this Monday that was pretty successful, hosted by Aubert Mantoul, and I believe he wanted to come out again in August, where seniors just had to provide a current prescription and they were free to come and choose a lens for free. Or, excuse me, the frame. Continuing with our programs, we were very happy for the digital literacy program, Tech Goes Home. We graduated our first class, as many of you know, and we were able to give the devices to them, distribute them beginning last week into this week, and they're very happy about that. We are continuing with the 8 dimensions of wellness that is offered every Thursday here from 10 to 11, as well as GLIS caregiver groups. They've been doing a tremendous job. This group actually walks over to the old GLIS building, and they talk about wellness, caregiving, but in a different format where they prepare healthy little samples of food and little smoothies or little vegetable drinks, and they just kind of commune amongst each other, and they always come back invigorated, smiling, and very happy for the next one. So we're happy about that. Upcoming services, we have in May, the first week of May, we have a nursing program from Salem State coming to do File of Life. For those that are not familiar, File of Life is in the event that a senior becomes unable to communicate what medications or what diagnosis that they have. This File of Life, I believe, is a magnet that's posted on their refrigerator or somewhere in their personal dwelling that can be accessed by the EMTs that have their current medications and current medical conditions to help them navigate that senior through. We also will be having MBTA. For those that don't have the Charlie card, we will be hosting an MBTA event here where we are able to fill out the applications, take your photograph, and send that information on to the MBTA, and you will get your Charlie card mailed here, and it will be distributed here as well. And we also will be starting, Josette from GLIS we'll be starting the Chronic Pain Management Series, and that too, I believe, will be started in mid-May.
That's a lot of good things. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Activities. I'm gonna ask anyone if they have questions, but I do have 2 questions for Tanya. On your garden group, I'm not sure if it went through or not. I know Chris was doing a grant for a greenhouse. Did that end up getting finished or no?
I think that it's, I don't wanna say that it's, in that purgatory state where it's nor here nor there, but because of the construction that's going on, I will have to get clarification on where the grant process is with the
I know
greenhouse.
Norris was helping
Yes,
them on that,
yes.
so I know it wasn't you, so I was just curious if you heard anything. And the other one, when you do your walks on the commons, so your drivers will drive the seniors down there.
Yes.
And do your walk, have you ever thought about the track and field at Manor Field too? There's a full
No.
track there that they can walk around and flat surface, cause it's a track area. Something to think about, I know it's a little further away, but you don't have to worry about like the sidewalks.
Right.
And uneven ground.
Yes.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
That's the only questions I had. Did anyone have any questions for
I'm gonna
Tanya?
ask something. I would like to know about, because all the activities are between in the morning. If you come here after 1 o'clock, the center is empty because about the transportation for the people. Why they don't make it all the scene longer in the afternoon too, and the people can keep here in the center more longer? If you put in more activity in the afternoon, then people can be longer now. But if all the activity is going to be in the morning, it's supposed to be the center be open until 3 o'clock. And you see, at 1 o'clock, the center is completely empty.
Right, that's-
So we have to do something about to keep the people here until 3 o'clock.
Right.
All right, no, that's a good one. We'll,
Yeah. To make it more activity or making more connection with the people to be here longer.
maybe Tanya, you could do, I keep saying you could do, ask the seniors who wants longer activities, because I do know certain ones do go back to their apartments, because they do have different activities at each individual place. So I know some like to go back for 2 o'clock, they might have their own bingo, or they might have some type of event. So check with the seniors who
Absolutely.
wants to stay.
Even
Would we have
two drivers right
transportation?
now.
But will there be transportation if there are things in the afternoon?
There will be transportation. We are open until 3 o'clock. We have followed the trend, so we do see that typically seniors do leave after lunch if there's not anything engaging for them to stay for. So I will actually take a show of hands to see if we can get something going. The garden group does meet in the afternoon as well, so we'll start that as a kind of a litmus test, but that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, because the seniors, before we start, we don't have the driver, just only part-time.
Yeah.
Right now, we have 2 drivers.
Yeah.
And I think if we make it, the people compromise to stay longer with another activity, it's gonna be until 3 o'clock like before.
Nope, that's a great suggestion. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Tanya,
Judge?
just a suggestion, I know back in the times we were at the old center, we used to have a dinner club. Maybe that's an idea, you know?
What was the dinner club?
It was, someone had made a contact with, go ahead, Joan.
I think that, if I'm not
Go ahead.
mistaken, the food was coming from,
Brother's table.
not my brother's table,
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was once a month. Is
right.
that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but someone had,
And you never knew what you were gonna have.
someone
Right.
had, go ahead.
Well, go ahead, you elaborate on it, because that's all I remember.
Yeah, 'cause-
Once a month, and the food was coming from my brother's table. We never knew what we were getting.
right,
It was
and,
always a surprise.
yeah, it would happen, I forget what Wednesday of the month it would take place, but I forget who put that together. And what it was is if you wanna hang around on that Wednesday, was it 4 or 5 o'clock, I think we ate a dinner that they provided.
Right.
And that made the people stay later, and it was more or less, because some of them didn't cook at night or something like that. I don't know who pulled that together though, but that was something, George is right, that they used to do.
So I will say definitely
Once a
the
month.
idea is great, if there wouldn't be any objection, and we'll check on this, but Tuesday is typically our late day, so
Yeah.
rather than it being Wednesday,
It
if it
probably-
could do on Tuesday,
Sure,
because
yeah.
we're here
Sure.
until 5:30.
Doesn't matter what day it is.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it doesn't really matter, but if that works, it sounds like a better day, maybe.
And maybe perhaps we can also combine it with like a game night, dinner sort of thing, so that it's really worth your while, something to sink your teeth into.
Right,
Right.
right.
The old thing is that we said bingo.
I think, yeah, they did have bingo at one point, because after the seniors had their dinner, they would just go home, so they were playing bingo for a while.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I really want to tell Tanya thank you because she's doing a very good job.
Absolutely, I agree. Very, very pleasant, very nice.
Very good job, yeah.
Anybody have any other questions for Tanya? All right, now you can go on to your report.
I think everyone has been provided the financial. We can kind of review it if anyone has any questions. You can pretty much see the lines at the end with the percentage used.
I have a question, Tanya. What is dues, subscribe, and membership? What is that for?
What falls under that is monthly, our phones,
Oh,
or
great.
any subscriptions
Oh, okay.
that we may have, memberships that we may have.
Thank
That's
you.
on a monthly rotational kind of auto pay sort of thing.
Thank you.
Not auto pay, but
But I know what you mean.
Beyonder, which is that travel, that virtual travel. That was a membership that we had to.
Yes. Thank you.
Now, Tanya, is there any way, I know we used to, which you did a great job with this, believe me, and this is how Chris was doing it. I know a few people asked, we had it more itemized before.
Okay.
So if you had an event, what you spent on the event, exactly what was being spent at the senior center. You don't have to go elaborate, because before I think we had toiletries and this and that, but just a rough idea,
Okay.
so people know what the expenses are on the
Sure.
different events you're bringing in, stuff like that,
Yes,
if you don't mind.
absolutely.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions regarding her budget report? No? Alright, we'll move on then. Alright, so you did your upcoming activities, you did your financial report. Next, Friends of Lynn Council of Aging report, President Joe Noble.
Okay. The meeting of the Friends of the Lynn Council on Aging Board was held on April 20th, 2023. Acknowledgements were sent to Cindy LeBlanc and Virginia Califf for their donations. Membership Secretary report, all members paid. There was a discussion about the importance of our page in the Senior Center newsletter. This has always been a successful source for our fundraising efforts. The next 50-50 raffle will be held at the Senior Center on May 26th, commemorating Memorial Day. I have also reached out to Michael Sweeney at the Veterans Office requesting that an American flag be placed in the center. Respectfully submitted, Joan B. Noble, Friends of the Council. I'm very upset because some of the things that were in the armory are missing. The American flag is the first one we had, and that really strikes my heart because my husband reached out and made sure that we had that beautiful flag in the center window at our former center. Nobody has seen it. I did check with Chris originally. No one has seen it. So I did reach out to Mike Sweeney, because unfortunately, the day I called, he was out ill. But we really should have an American flag, seeing as we're coming on Memorial Day.
I'll reach
There
out
should
to
be
Mike
the presence
also.
of the flag.
I'll reach
in
out
the
to Mike
center.
also for it.
And whatever happened to the items that we used to use for, people are asking about the pull-a-pop, which was a big, all those things are missing. And unfortunately, what happened to them, we will never know.
What is the polar pod? I've
The
never heard of.
pull-a-pop was our November fundraiser, and it was a fun time. We engaged everyone, even the staff of the center, and the board and all the materials that we used. No one has seen them. So unfortunately, I don't know what we'll do about that. Maybe reach out again. Jim Barton was the one that made the board for us, so we will try to do that again. But the American flag, I think, is the most important thing.
I'll reach it when the meeting's over. I'll call Mike on my way to my next
Okay,
meeting.
thank you, thank you. So respectfully submitted. No.
Thank you, Joan. Anybody have any questions for Joan? No? Okay, we'll move on. All right, we have Council of Aging Board Members Training Discussion. But as Pam and I Pam was discussing earlier, there is supposed to be a training for the Council of Aging, but none of the training sessions are local. So there's no way of getting a lot of the members to get there. So, Pam, do you know, have you reached out to them? Do they do any Zoom or?
I asked them and they said there's no Zoom meetings and planned for now.
Would somebody come to us? Do they realize,
I-
like seniors, we can't get people?
I asked them and I'm waiting for an answer
Okay.
back.
All right. So next meeting, hopefully we'll have an answer and we can get somebody to come to us. Because where were the,
It has been many years. I did attend the training sessions when I was on the Greater Lynn Senior Center Board and the Council on Aging Board. And there was a lot of important information, because I'm going back 12 years. So it's unfortunate that the sites are so unavailable to this area.
so we're gonna see what we can do about that, just to get everyone updated on what's going on, what should be done, what can't be done. So hopefully we'll have an answer for the next month. All right, next on the, put the glasses on, I can't see. All right, next is the director hiring process timetable. So they have received the applications. Personnel's going through them, and they'll probably narrow them down, and we're gonna start interviewing, I think, May 8th, does that sound right?
Yeah, it was May.
May 8th. They're gonna do the interviews basically all in one day, so they're gonna have different times. They narrowed it down, I guess, so I think we'll have 5 or 6.
Was there a good response?
Was a decent response. I don't know the total number, but I don't think it was as much as I expected it to be. But, so that process will start May 8th, I think that date is. And then from there, you still have all the interviews, then you come down to your final 2, that's more interviews, so it's still a process. I'm figuring timetable, like, yeah, probably a month and a half.
Okay.
When who get the person who's selected needs
Yeah.
time.
Because as John just said, the person selected may need to give their notice at their other job, so we are gonna have a little timetable there. You can't just say, no, you have to start tomorrow. So there's a process, and after our next meeting, we'll have a better update for everybody.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions regarding that? No? All right. All right, this is the one thing, this is why John DeVito from the mayor's office is here because this is our construction and space at the senior center. I asked John to come because we don't have all the answers yet, but I will let John explain.
Yeah, now, honestly, I wish I'm John Tebow, by the way. I work in the mayor's office and the chief of staff, so thank you for having me here. I wish I could say with a PowerPoint presentation and show you guys everything, but we don't have that yet. The designers and architects were in the center, I think we the day after Easter, so that Monday. They were really trying to get precise measurements of the first floor and second floor, and so that they could start to turn around a design. I think we had gone through some ideas of what it could look like, and now they wanted to get, like I said, like laser measurements so that they could turn around some renderings. And I spoke with ISD, who's kind of in communication with the designers, and they were originally told a few weeks. Right now it's just everybody's experiencing a capacity issue, so not to make an excuse, but that's kind of what we're waiting for, is them to come back with some renderings and layout for what the design will look like. Once we know that, we'll have an idea too of the bidding process, or talking to construction consultants about what the timeline might look like. And so I think hopefully, is your next meeting at the end of next month, we'll be able to come back to you with some actual design renderings so that you can see. And then even like those design renderings, what we'll probably be looking for the senior center and all of your help with is just kind of deciding, the not finishing touches, but paint, colors, stuff like that. But that'll be a little bit further along.
Did I read someplace recently, is there not access to the second floor except through the elevator? Is there no stairway at the present time in this building to the second floor?
No, there is. I think it's external. Yeah. Right. So from this space,
Right.
there's no access. So what they'll be looking to do is put a stairwell in so that it's a direct link as well. And of course, the elevator will remain, obviously,
Right.
for those that need it. But
I
there'll be
was kind
stair
of
access
surprised
as
when
well.
I read that,
There is, like you said, it's external.
so it's external.
Yeah, the second floor, because when we started here, and they were doing the tour for the people, they showed the second floor. It's gonna be, even when we wanna do in the garden, they had a place to do in the garden, and the old people can sit there and take the sun and then.
There is a little terrace up on the side.
What are you calling old?
I'm sorry, I don't have to play. They all, isn't that only this year, no we.
I want to know how much external space does the senior center actually have?
Yeah.
The actual insurance.
I don't have the square footage.
Yeah, I don't have the square footage on me. I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know. Like between the two floors combined.
No,
The
outside.
perimeter of the
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't. I can ask. I can find
Yeah.
out.
Outside.
Is this all our parking lot out here?
Well, right now, no. Part of it, we stop where the signs say,
Senior center.
senior center parking, then the other end is for element care, for the office upstairs. But when we do renovate, it's still probably gonna be the same way. We only have a portion of the parking lot, because there are 5 floors to this building, so there will be other offices upstairs, so they will be using the parking at the end.
Shared parking.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask. So the senior center is just gonna have the first and second floor?
Yes.
And then who are the other offices? Are you leasing space? Are you giving that to people?
We don't
You
know
don't
yet.
know yet? Okay.
We do not know yet. Right now, we're just working on the senior center, and then when everything else is emptied out, that's something through the mayor's office.
Yes.
They'll work that
And I
out.
have another question,
Sure.
because upstairs I thought there was a deck or something up there.
There is.
Will we have use of that, or would that go with the other
No,
offices?
that's on the,
Everyone?
that's on the second floor, so that would
Okay.
be part of the senior
Okay,
center.
thank you, Diane.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? We're moving along. I know it seems
Yeah, we
like it's
are.
taken forever,
Oh,
but
I'm
we
just-
are. Everything is a process. Nothing
Yes,
moves quickly.
yes,
But we are working on this. With the mayor's office, they've been wonderful. Working with the architects, but it does take time and we are looking forward. Just wait till the end project and then we'll say it'll be well worth the wait. I hope.
And may I interject a thought or a statement, if I may? And also the goal is also understanding that the seniors of Lynn have been disrupted enough. So the plans include not further disrupting the seniors or our programs or our services. As to say, we will not have to leave the building, and this will be done in phases. So it will be comfortable enough for the work to be done, but for our daily operational functionings not to be interrupted. And I think that's really one of the main things that we should focus on positively is that we waited so long, you all waited so long for the door to be open to this building. And now that it is, we really want to preserve not having any further disruption.
There will be a little noise,
Yeah.
of course, but no different than if you were out walking, they were doing construction, but I think they're gonna try to make it minimal enough that you guys can still, like Tanya said, keep all your activities going. Mary, you
May
have
I
no
add
question?
too, I just can't thank everybody enough who was instrumental in getting this place for us. It is truly a godsend when you walk in here. It's so bright, you want to be in here. Down there, it was dull, it was just gray. I just want to thank everybody for all the hard work you've done. It has not gone unnoticed by me. This means so much to me, it really does.
It was a team effort.
It is,
It was a team effort by
what I
everybody.
like is that we're getting newer seniors coming in here that you've never seen before. They're coming from everywhere, and it's just such a plus. It really is, I just need to say that. I'm grateful, I really am.
Well, thank you, everyone. Anybody have any other questions?
Just to follow up from last month, and I apologize, I read most of the newsletter, but not all of it. And I get mad when people don't read the Mass Senior Action newsletter and ask me questions, so feel free to get mad at me. The art classes, Tanya, I was just, wanted to follow up that because we have had people reach out to us about those.
Yes. So the art classes, I want to say he is in his, I want to say 4th session
Okay.
out of a total of 10 sessions. So he's midway as I'm looking at the canvases of their second art project that they're working on. One moment, please, Diane. I'll come to you. She's counting. She's getting ahead. So he is on his 4th class out of 10. This is an instructor that received a 10-week grant, art, and thankfully the seniors, this is a free art class.
Yeah, that's great.
This is a free art
That's
class.
great.
That's wonderful.
Good, good.
Anybody have any other questions or concerns or anything?
Just one more question. Tanya, I know, when originally we opened, there was a, what would you call it, suggestion box.
Yes,
Is, that still active?
it's still active.
Okay,
I'll have to physically put it out. It's still active.
okay.
Have you been getting a lot of suggestions out of it, or?
Yes, when we first opened, actually a lot of our daily programs and functionings and times of doing things was really generated and led through those suggestions. And I believe 3 months in, we also did a very generic survey of the food, of the service, of the staff, and how people felt. And of course, this was anonymous, and most of the feedback came that seniors were very happy with the team, very happy with the services. The food was 50-50, although we don't have a hand in what is made, what is prepared, but we do have a hand in how we order it, and also observing what the seniors like on a daily basis and noting that on the menu. So the next time that the selection comes, we increase the numbers. So yes, we have taken all the suggestions into account and have modified our functionings accordingly.
Well, Tanya, like a
Thank
few people said earlier, we do want to thank you for stepping up, filling in, and you're doing a great job.
Well, I have to say, I don't stand alone. Anyone that has served on a team, you know that, yes, the figurehead is what it is, but I don't stand alone. I have a fantastic team, and with the addition of the tracers from Public Health Department, we are functioning very well and very efficiently. So that compliment is also extended to my team.
Well, I know Tanya said to me earlier, with the tracers being here, she's finding things are going a lot smoother. There's more eyes out there, like she said, she had an incident last week, but they had tracers out there that caught a few things. They're able to get some of their paperwork done, some of the things they need to be getting done. Once everyone leaves here, they're here later because they have to finish up. They're actually getting a lot done right now with the tracers. It's a full staff for them.
Good, you need it, you need it.
What are the tracers made?
They were hired during COVID, when people were calling in with COVID symptoms. They were the tracers that would trace back who they were with. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So you would call, you'd get your test and you had COVID, the tracer would call you, tell you what you had to do, who you were in contact with. They would try to contact the people you were in contact with to say you had COVID and,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So right now where COVID isn't as high as it used to be.
Right.
They took the tracers and they brought them down here. Some of them are driving, some are helping with the activities,
Okay.
making a big difference down here for them.
Good, good.
Anybody have anything else to add today? Oh, all right.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody.